I was standing barefoot on a sunlit balcony in Hawaii, watching waves crash against the rocks below when my phone buzzed. Another message. Another accusation. You stole from me. You ruined everything. Sent by my own sister. The same one I had just spent $17,000 on to give her the dream vacation of a lifetime. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding, my hands shaking, but not from guilt, from rage, from heartbreak, from the sharp realization that I had been betrayed by the very people I loved the most. They had no idea who really booked the flights, no idea whose card paid for the hotel, the yacht, the ocean view dinners. No idea that I held every receipt and every ounce of control. So I made one quiet phone call, then another, and another. By the time they realized what I'd done, it was already too late. And paradise turned into payback. My name is Rachel, and I'm 28 years old. I work full-time as a freelance designer, and after a few years of saving, I finally had enough money to do something special. I decided to surprise my family, especially my older sister, Brianna, with a dream vacation to Hawaii. She had always wanted to go, but she never really had the money or the time. And honestly, I just wanted us to feel like a real family again. Things had been rocky lately, too many arguments, too many cold dinners filled with silence. I thought a vacation would fix that. So, I secretly booked everything. 5-star hotel rooms with ocean views, round-trip flights, rental cars, snorkeling tours, and even a private boat day. I paid for all of it. Every single dollar came from my savings. But here's the thing, I didn't tell anyone I was paying. I let Brianna take the credit. She liked to show off, and I didn't care as long as everyone had a good time. She told our parents and her friends that it was her gift to the family. I just smiled and went along with it. I thought I was doing something kind. Something selfless. But that was my first mistake. Because from the moment we landed in Hawaii, I noticed the way she acted. Like she was better than me. Like I didn't belong. And I had no idea that by the end of that week, she'd accuse me of something so ugly, it would change everything. The first few days in Hawaii felt like a dream. The soft sand, the warm breeze, the bright sunsets. Everyone was relaxed, smiling, drinking fancy fruit cocktails. Brianna acted like she was queen of the island, walking around in her designer sunglasses, posting pictures online with captions like, treating my fam to the best week ever #sistergoals. I didn't say anything. I didn't need credit. I just wanted peace. But on the 4th morning, everything changed. I was sitting by the pool, sipping iced coffee, when Brianna came stomping toward me. Her face was red, her phone in one hand, and a small purse in the other. You, she yelled. You stole from me. Everyone around us froze. Even the hotel staff paused. I stood up slowly. What are you talking about? She threw the purse at my feet. I had $14,000 in cash in here. It's gone. And the only person who could have taken it is you. You're the only one who's been near my stuff. I blinked, stunned. $14,000? Why would I take your money? I didn't even know you had that much. She crossed her arms. Don't play dumb. You've always been jealous. You've always wanted to bring me down. You're not even supposed to be here. Then my parents stepped in. My mom whispered something in Brianna's ear, and my dad looked at me with disappointment, like he believed her. Rachel, he said coldly, we think it's best if you leave. Right now. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You're kicking me out? I asked, my voice shaking. You made a mess of this trip, Brianna snapped. Just go. I stared at them, the people I paid for, the people I wanted to make happy. And without another word, I picked up my bag and walked away. But what they didn't know was this. I had booked every reservation under my name. The flights, the hotel rooms, the activities, all of it. And now they'd pay the price. I sat on the edge of a quiet beach later that evening, watching the waves crash under the moonlight. My heart still hurt from what happened. It wasn't just the accusation. It was the betrayal. They really thought I'd steal? After everything I'd done for them? But I wasn't going to cry anymore. I wasn't going to beg them to believe me. No. This time I was done being the quiet, forgiving one. I pulled out my phone, opened my email, and searched for the travel booking receipts. I had everything saved: flight confirmations, hotel reservations, activity schedules, all in my name. I called the airline first. "Yes," I said calmly. "I need to cancel 3 return flights from Honolulu to Los Angeles. The booking reference is under Rachel Martin." The representative asked a few questions to verify my identity, then confirmed the cancellation. Next, I called the hotel. I had paid for 6 nights. They were on night 4.
"Hi," I said.
"I need to shorten the stay. The room should check out tomorrow morning instead of in 3 days." The front desk clerk apologized and updated the booking. Lastly, I canceled the catamaran cruise, the zip-lining adventure, and the last 2 dinner reservations. Every single thing they had left to enjoy gone. I wasn't doing it to be cruel. I was doing it because they had treated me like trash. Like I was nothing. So now they'd see what life without me and my money really felt like. As I finished the last cancellation, I stood up and brushed the sand off my dress. I wasn't going home yet. I booked myself a new hotel just for me. A peaceful, ocean view suite on the other side of the island. They kicked me out like I didn't matter. But I was about to remind them exactly who made their vacation possible. The next morning, I woke up in my new hotel, feeling calm for the first time in days. My room had a balcony overlooking the water, and the sound of waves crashing made everything feel peaceful. I ordered breakfast to my room: pancakes, fresh pineapple, and hot coffee. I smiled to myself as I thought, this is the vacation I actually needed. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, my sister and parents were about to get a rude awakening. It started with the spa cancellation. I knew Brianna had booked an expensive full-day spa package for herself and 2 friends. But when she showed up that morning, dressed in her white robe and flip-flops, the receptionist checked the system and frowned. "I'm sorry, Ms. Martin," she said. "There's no active booking under your name. The original appointment was canceled yesterday." "What?" Brianna snapped. "That's impossible. Check again." But there was nothing to find. Her entire reservation was gone. Then came the hotel checkout notice. A staff member knocked on their door around 11 a.m. and politely reminded them that their reservation had ended and the rooms needed to be cleared for the next guests. My dad was confused. No, we're booked through Sunday." "I'm afraid not, sir," the employee said. The person who made the reservation updated the checkout date. That's when it finally clicked. My mom asked, "Wait, who made the reservation?" The employee answered without hesitation, "A Ms. Rachel Martin." Silence. Everything hit them at once. The rooms, the flights, the tours, the activities, they had never been in control. I had booked it all. I had paid for every dollar of this trip. And now they were stranded. The hotel was fully booked for the weekend. No backup rooms. No concierge magic. They had to pack up and leave. To make things worse, when my dad tried to rebook the flights, he saw the prices had tripled. It was peak season and flights were almost full. They'd have to either wait days for cheaper seats or cough up thousands to get home on time. And I was sipping coconut water by the infinity pool with 0 regrets. Later that afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. I didn't answer. Then came a flood of messages from my mom, my dad, even Brianna. Some were angry. Some were desperate. "Rachel, how could you do this to us? You left us stranded in a foreign place like animals. You need to fix this immediately." I didn't reply. Instead, I opened Instagram. Brianna had already posted another picture, clearly taken before everything fell apart. She was in front of a waterfall, captioned, "So grateful for the peace and blessings this trip brought us. I just love my family so much." The comments were full of praise. "You're such a generous soul. You're the kind of sister I wish I had. Your family is lucky to have you." That was the last straw. I opened my photo gallery and posted a carousel of screenshots, receipts, booking confirmations, even a voice memo I'd secretly saved of Brianna mocking me behind my back. The caption was simple. "Since I'm being accused of theft, here's what I really paid for. Flights, $4,500. Hotel, 6 nights, 3 rooms, $9,000. Activities and car rental, $2,800. Surprise family dinner, $1,300. Total, $17,600. And yes, I was kicked out by the same people I paid for. I didn't tag anyone. I didn't need to. Within an hour, it exploded. Friends started commenting. Strangers shared it. People messaged me, outraged on my behalf. A few even unfollowed Brianna and reposted my post with angry captions like, shameful behavior, and how do you treat family like that? One of Brianna's own influencer friends messaged me privately. Girl, I had no idea. She said you came on the trip last minute and didn't even pay for your part. I'm so sorry. Now they knew. Everyone knew. Brianna tried to control the damage, but it was too late. Her fake image crumbled. Her followers dropped. Brand emails stopped coming. And me? I stayed silent and let the truth do all the talking. A day after the post went viral, I received a text from Brianna. Brianna, can we please talk? I didn't mean for things to go this far. I messed up. I get it. I stared at the message, not knowing whether to laugh or roll my eyes. Just days ago, she was yelling at me by the pool, calling me a thief. Now she was acting like we were just having a misunderstanding. Then came another message, this time from my dad. Dad, Rachel, your mother, and I regret how we handled things. We shouldn't have taken sides without knowing the facts. Please give us a chance to make it right. It hurt to read. Not because I missed them, but because it was too late. That night, I sat on my balcony, watching the lights from a distant cruise ship fade into the horizon. I wasn't sad. I wasn't angry anymore, either. I felt something else.
Free.
I had spent most of my life trying to earn their love. To be the good daughter, the helpful sister, the one who paid quietly and never complained. And when I finally stood up for myself, when I stopped letting them walk all over me, everything became clear. I didn't owe them another dollar. And I didn't owe them a second chance. Before I checked out of my hotel, I went to the front desk and left a sealed envelope with the manager. It was addressed to Brianna. Inside was a printed note. I paid for the vacation. You paid me back with lies. I gave you paradise, and you turned it into punishment. This was never about the money.
It was about respect.
You lost it. You lost me. Rachel. I boarded my flight alone. First class. Window seat.
Champagne in hand.
And as the plane soared above the clouds, I smiled to myself and thought, sometimes the best gift you can give toxic people is your absence. Back home, I didn't tell anyone I'd returned. No announcement. No calls. I just slipped quietly back into my life. But this time, with new boundaries. I blocked my sister. I stopped replying to guilt messages from my parents. I even cleared out old group chats and unfollowed the people who stayed silent when Brianna humiliated me. Silence is a choice. And they chose hers over mine. Then something unexpected happened. A journalist who followed me on Instagram reached out. She wrote for a popular lifestyle blog and wanted to feature my story, not just the vacation disaster, but the emotional side. The financial burden, the betrayal, the courage it took to walk away. I agreed. The article was titled, "The Woman Who Funded a Family Trip and Got Kicked Out, Then Took It All Back." It went viral, again. And that's when brands started reaching out to me. Travel companies. Solo traveler communities. Financial wellness platforms. I launched a blog called Booked by Rachel, sharing budgeting tips, personal stories, and solo travel guides. The first article? How I took my power back, one canceled flight at a time. I made more from my blog in 6 months than I had in the last 2 years of freelance work. Best part? No one could take credit for it, but me. One night, while sitting in a cafe, I got a final message from an unknown number. It just said, "You've changed. You're colder now." I didn't even need to reply. Because the truth is, I didn't become colder. I became smarter. I learned that family isn't just about blood. It's about respect, loyalty, and knowing when to stop handing your heart to people who treat it like trash. And as I hit publish on my next blog post, from a peaceful cabin in the Colorado mountains, I whispered to myself, this time, the only person I'm taking on vacation is me. So, they kicked me out of a vacation I paid for. They accused me of stealing when all I ever gave was love, time, and money. But in the end, I took back control, quietly, powerfully, and on my own terms. I didn't fight to prove myself. I let the truth speak. And when it did, it echoed louder than any lie they could tell. This wasn't just about a canceled trip. This was about walking away from people who never saw my worth. And finally choosing me. Because sometimes the real revenge isn't making them suffer. It's watching them realize you never needed them to shine.